Hello! Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Grinding with Borgman, episode 29. Rocking that sweet jazz, that nice high-tempo jazz today. Had like a huge video dump on YouTube, feeling good. Finally got caught up with all the video content that I had neglected to edit and post last week due to the illnesses and whatnot. Also, in other news, talking about yesterday, well, let's get into the drawing for it first. But yesterday, I had been talking about. Oh, gotta switch my pens. This one's dead. Switch the pens. It just died on me, of course. All right, there we are. All right. But yeah, no. So hopping back into it, we're gonna go ahead and start on some free drawing, with anatomy and poses and whatnot. Nice little gesture, and we'll just maybe do a man-woman, just get our warm-ups in, get that grind going. So welcome. Hope you enjoy the jams and enjoy the grind. And also, so yesterday I had been talking about essentially physics had been disproven. Our concept of physics had been disproven. And scrolling through Instagram today, I saw Joe Rogan had a post about the exact same thing. So, a little late to the party there, Joe Rogan. Borgman Designs talked about it first. But anyways, little more information on that. So basically, the whole thing is, so the Nobel Prize in Physics went to three scientists this year, together jointly. John Clauser, Alain Aspect, and Anton Zeilinger. Their research was based off of an Irish physicist, John Stuart Bell, who died in 1990. And what it is that they've basically disproven the concept of localized realism or local reality, and reality doesn't actually exist. I'm sure if you've been watching the news, you've been questioning whether reality exists for a while now. But yeah, no, so reality doesn't exist in the conventional way we think it does. So the concept of localized reality being that the concept of localized reality being that like an object has definitive properties, an object, or whatever physical aspect of the universe that you're talking about doesn't have to be an object, can be a sound or something like that. Anything that has to do with physics. But let me open up the chat just in case people get interested in this. But yeah, so basically, any object that exists with physical properties has definitive properties based on its existence. So, like, the example they give in the article is that, like, an apple is red, and it is indisputably red, regardless of whether you're looking at it or not. However, these guys have proven otherwise. So an apple is not, in fact, red, regardless of whether you're looking at it or not. When you're not looking at it, it might not be red. Because... So wait, let me hop back to the article real quick. Real. So the whole thing is the universe is not locally real, is what they proved. Real, meaning that objects have definitive or definite properties independent of observation. So even when you're not looking at an apple, it's red. Local, meaning that the objects can only be influenced by their surroundings, and that any influence cannot travel faster than light, since that is the limit put onto it by E equals mc squared, mass times acceleration squared. That once an object has too much mass, like it can't move faster than light. And basically investigations at according to this article, investigations at the frontiers of quantum physics have found that these things cannot both be true. Instead the evidence shows objects are not influenced solely by their surroundings, but they also lack definite properties prior to measurement. So it's like a Higgs boson particle thing, where you can know where it is or how fast it's going, but not both, because its speed changes as soon as you measure one, or its location changes as soon as you measure the other. It is no longer in the spot that it, so immediately I was like, you remember that old question we always got asked, if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? And the answer is, it doesn't have to. What's even funnier about that is there's a book series that that I've read several times over. It's one of my favorite book series, by David and Lee Eddings, The Belgariad and The Malorian. Great fantasy novels, if you're interested. I always draw the biggest freaking noses. It's because my nose is big. That's why. I gotta... But anyways, so we're gonna create the planes of the face here. But anyways, so they actually asked that question in the book series, and the very wise old sorcerer in the book series yells at them for even asking that question because it's an impossibility. There's no point in arguing an impossibility. So I find I find it funny on two levels. First of all, the universe is not real. Our scientists have proven that the universe is not real. And second of all, it doesn't matter if it's not real because we're experiencing it. And even when we're not experiencing it, other things are. So, like, the reason that he yells at them for it being an impossibility is the fact that there's never nothing around to hear it. Or there's never no living things around to not hear the tree falling. That's the argument made. And then, of course they have a dryad in their party too, or half dryad. The argument begins with, well, why, why don't we just suppose that, there are no animals around to hear it, that there is nothing around to listen to this tree falling, at which point the person of dryad heritage says, well, even the trees can hear. So it is, even the trees would be aware of their own, of their companion falling. So there's no reason to even have a discussion about something that is definitively impossible. There will never not be people around to hear it. Yeah. So anyways, fun little thing. If you wanted to just get scared and horrified at reality and our lack of understanding of it, they just proved that we know even less than we thought we did. But what that also means is that faster than light travel, totally possible. Theoretically, of course. But totally possible. Theoretically. But totally possible. Theoretically. And, whatever. I know, whatever, $100 million sale to Spotify or whatever, but maybe Spotify should have given me $100 million because I picked up that story before Joe Rogan did. Just saying, peep. Just saying, fans. Just saying that to the 9 fans that I have. So we're just doing a little free drawing, you know. Just enjoying ourselves. You did what? All right. I'm talking about. So I'm actually. So Exa, welcome to the stream. So I'm talking about both actual science and I'm talking about a book series that probably has some D&D-esque leanings. So there's an actual scientific, the excuse me, still sniffling and stuff. Sorry, everybody. Should have made some tea before the stream. And see how his neck is in. We're gonna give him that double chin. I'm also there's an Adderall shortage too, people. So you know I'm a little all over the place. I realized from my last couple videos, but anyways, yes. So the report or the article is talking about the 2022 physicists or group who the 3 gentlemen who won the Nobel Prize for Physics for 2022, and how they proved the fact that our concept of the universe is false and that there is no localized realism. And the real being defined as having definitive properties independent of observation, and localized meaning influenced only by its surroundings. The article was referring to an apple being red, regardless of whether you're looking at it or not, and regardless of what is interacting with it. However, that is false. When you're not looking at an apple, it could be purple. And then I was relating that to the old thought experiment of if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? At which point I segued into the book series by David and Lee Eddings, the Belgariad and the Malorian, which I've also done some art for. You can check that out at our website. Spoilers for the book series. But yeah, and the fact that there's no point in arguing an impossibility. Based on the characters in the book made that argument that there's no point in arguing something that is contextually impossible, because no matter what, there will be something to hear that tree falling in the woods. Just like no matter what, there will be something observing that apple. Even if it's just, like a fly. Or their reference was like chipmunks and squirrels in the forest. And then the dryad, or the person with dryad heritage in the adventuring party, said that trees can hear too, thus proving the impossibility of the argument that there's no point in arguing whether or not people can hear a tree falling in the woods. So anyways, there you go. Now you're all caught up. And I've talked more in 15 minutes than I should have. So quick water break. Everybody go ahead and hydrate. Remember, you're 80% water. Go ahead and fill up the tank. This has been your daily grinding with Borgman ASMR water sip. Get hydrated. All right, but now back to the drawing. What if the tree falls in the hyperbolic time chamber? well, then it will fall very quickly, while at the same time falling for an eternity. Or wait, what's the time difference in the hyperbolic time chamber? Like 1 year is 1 minute. By the way, people, anybody not aware of the hyperbolic time chamber, this is a fictitious place from Dragon Ball Z where the Z fighters can go and train for, what seems years in days. So I don't know. I mean, I guess, well, the tree would hear itself fall. 1 year to 1 day. Okay, so it would take weeks for the tree to fall. And the tree would hear itself start to fall until it stopped hearing in general, due to its own demise through gravity. I guess. But that's only if it's a... First of all, who put the tree in the hyperbolic time chamber? How'd the tree get in there? Because it's an expanse of white nothingness. So, that begs the question even further, sir. Oh, we got a vibration. Mr. Popo tends to it. So Mr. Popo would probably hear it fall. I like this. It's a look of like, are you kidding? Do you guys hear that tree fall? That's what this expression. Did that tree just yell? Did that tree just yell timber on its own? That's what this expression is. Did I just hear that tree yell timber? It's a funny thing, but also, it's a humorous thing, and I'm gonna share it because I find it humorous, but also, hopefully it doesn't offend anybody, and if it does, lighten up. But anyways, there was a post a long time ago that I saw, which still makes me giggle to this day. Somebody by the name of Kimber had posted something on this website, and somebody responded with, "Your name sounds like a deaf lumberjack," and I had to say their name, and then I did, and then I couldn't. I had to like say their name out loud, and then I did, and I could not stop laughing. It was so. Is that Squid? Oh, Handsome Squidward? No, this is not Handsome Squidward. We're just doing a little free drawing. We've been working on. Oh, sorry, Garage Door. First of all, thank you so much for joining the chat. We're just doing a little free drawing. We've been working on anatomy lately. To just like bone up. So no, this is just a very basic male face. And I wanted it to be in kind of I wanted to do like a neck pose that I don't normally do, one that is less flattering, because most people draw like very flattering poses, So I wanted to do like a less flattering pose, one where you're, But yes, no, it is. I'm sorry, Garage Door. This is Handsome Squidward. But yeah, no, so we're just rocking through the warm-ups right now. I speak like Mark Zuckerberg? Ooh. Oh man, I really hope not. I've heard that he's a robot. I mean, I've never met the guy. He might be tolerable, but from what a lot of people say, he's not. So I speak like Mark Zuckerberg. Like, is my voice Mark Zuckerbergian? Zuckerberg-esque? Yeah, we're just warming up. You know, we just had our gesture through line right there, so then there's the gesture through line, so we'll just zoom out a little. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Not as affluent or successful yet as Mark Zuckerberg, but you know, definitely I hope more talented. Can you consider like programming a talent, or is that just a skill? Can you be a talented programmer, or is it more just like you have the skill of a programmer, the skills of a programmer, and no ethics because you devise a website that rates people based on how their face looks, that then turns into a poisonous social media platform bent on destroying democracy. Programming is talent. Okay, cool. No, that was more just like a, because it feels it from what a lot of my people have told me about programming. It's more just like learning a new language, and you can become fluent in that language. So I wasn't sure, and I am very adamant with people about art, where art is just a skill, and some people, yes, are more naturally talented than others at it. But just like basketball, you can get better at it by practicing and by studying and by learning. And if you stop, yeah, no, I can understand. No, that makes total sense to me. And also I know nothing about programming except for the fact that like some people use brackets and some people don't. I think. Because I've heard people complain about bracket users and non-bracket users complaining about each other. So yeah, I have one of the through lines of this stream, Garage Door, is the fact that I have approximate knowledge of many things, much like that Adventure Time character. So anything anybody ever wants to share to help elucidate things and expand my knowledge base, please. And expand the viewers' knowledge base, because that's what we're here for, is to just share. And it's me. So this is the first time I'm drawing today. This is a warm-up because when you start out, just shaky hands, janky lines, mismanaged proportions, all of that is an issue. So it's kind of tough. Like it's, like musicians, they have to kind of like warm up their fingers, their hands, their lips, depending on whatever instrument they're playing. Like, you got to do the same with your art. Got to do the same with your drawing. So yeah. Gotta do that with video games too. Let me tell you, my first Smash Brothers match compared to my 10th Smash Brothers match, night and day, night and day. Actually, speaking of Super Smash Brothers, please tune in to the Extra Life streams in November, and help support the kids. Oh, should we? I bet I'd kick your butt, XL. Who you play as? Who you play? Gentleman Smash? You have no idea. Been training. I'm gonna gentleman you to smash and surprise everybody. I'll do that. I'll do my signature lap. My soccer goal victory lap. Yes, that is a hysterical episode. The SpongeBob goes and lives in the dump. The hardest I have ever laughed in my entire life was at a SpongeBob episode. But see, man, my anatomy. See, Garage Door. One of the things is like my anatomy is way off right now. That's one of the like the pec connecting to the delt, connecting like all of this. This is a mess over here. This is a mess. Straight mess. But anyway. Sorry, getting back to it. My apologies. I get so distracted sometimes. Please, pardon my attention deficit issues. Yeah, the hardest I have ever laughed in my life was at a SpongeBob episode, and it was the Ugly Barnacle. And anybody who is aware of it probably is like, oh my god, yes. And anybody not aware of it should go look it up right now. Patrick tries to cheer up SpongeBob by telling him the story of the Ugly Barnacle. Oh man, I'm getting the giggles just thinking about it. Once upon a time, you know what? Now I'm gonna just tell the story. Once upon a time, there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly that everybody died. The end. Doesn't sound that funny, but contextually, it's hilarious. Go look it up. Oh yeah. Wait, what's your life story? The story of the ugly barnacle, or the story of not being funny out of context? Well, we can forgo the penis so that way we don't lose monetization if we ever get it. But anyways. And also, remember, Garage Door, I'm like, this is a daily stream. I've been absent for a bit due to illness, but this is a daily stream, and I've been working, I've been having to do anatomy studies for the past couple of sessions because my anatomy has been sorely lacking. Since I haven't been I haven't been very diligent in my studies since leaving school and having to, have day jobs and stuff like that. So we're getting back into stuff, and it's just important to remember that, like, out of context, yes, this could be impressive. In context, it's really not that impressive. And context is everything, man. And that's something we need to remember in life and in our world right now. Man, I am sweating like crazy. It's crazy. That context matters, and people are really fans of taking stuff out of context right now. See how I just segued into like you like that flawless segue into I guess cultural philosophy. But anyways, so now let's just switch it up because I'm running low on time for the warm-up session and I want to get something else in. So we're drawing the shapes along the through line. Creating a gesture drawing. And there we go. See, now, if you'll notice the difference between the first figure and the second figure and how quickly, like, this is why it's a warm-up. Like, how much more easily we're finding the shapes now. Like, this is why it's important to do the warm-up, so that way you can... you can have that ease and flow when you get into the real stuff that you want to be working on, you know? We'll do more. As I'm sure you're aware now that I'm doing a much more feminine shape. I wanted to get, you know, a man and a woman in for me for the warm up. So this music matches what I'm drawing so well. I didn't even realize it. It's just so sultry. I like it. Yeah. Hopefully I'm far less robotic than Mark Zuckerberg. You know, more amicable or amiable. Hopefully people actually like listening to me talk. Otherwise, this stream is severely doomed. Otherwise, I really need to reassess my business plan for maintaining my life as a professional artist. See, it's like the confidence of the line. It just grows the more you work out the kinks and the jitters. I'm really starting to enjoy the jazz, man. put in the ankle. See, this is what I could... Oh, man. This is definitely my kind of like bluesy high tempo jazz. I don't like lounge jazz. This is like bar jazz. All right. There we go. Some nice little warm-ups there. No, and this is, this is without reference. This is me free drawing. This is me trying to see how much more we need to work on. And I would say a lot. The various anatomy issues. All right, cool. Well, we're going to go ahead and stop the warm-ups there since we have broken through that first half-hour block. And now we're going to migrate right on into... I'm also a little nasally still from last week. My goodness, sorry. Since, we've broken through that half hour, let's go ahead and take another quick little water break, everybody. Remember, hydrate. Water and sleep. Two most important things for human beings. Water and sleep. So, get that H2O. A little ASMR for you. Okay. Excuse me. My apologies. All right. So we're going to save it. And remember, as always, save it. What is going on here? Did you freeze up? Ah, there we go. Computer had a brief issue there. As always, a reminder, save your warm-ups in a place where you can find them easily, and also date them appropriately so that way you can track your progress and stuff, Otherwise, what's the point? Counterpoints. Save them to... Okay, am I about to click this link? The URL provided has an invalid host. We're going to click it. I'm clicking it. Site can't be reached. Did you just try and hack me? Is that what's going on? Am I... Oh, is that that's one of yours? Oh man, Twitch does some weird stuff sometimes. Yeah, every time I put a oh right, this file is huge. So here's the composition that we threw together. That we're gonna be working on for the back hour of these sessions. And this is more like, and we're drawing in that oh my gosh, I think Huang Yajin is how you pronounce his name. I'll have to look it up. That'll be my homework tonight. But for any YouTube viewers, at the end of this video, I'll post a link to his process videos. We're kind of doing it more in that way. I'm definitely not stylizing it like his or theirs, to use, a more universal pronoun. I'm not stylizing it like theirs. For sure, I'm definitely going to be doing it in my style, but kind of that process. But this was just the layout. So now we're gonna dive into it with some, and I'm gonna actually do it in the process that they do it in, where they kind of, it's this very very soft, very soft approach to start. Um, and while I'm working on this piece, I might get sidetracked a bit, and that's what the music's for, though, to prevent that dead air, especially as I like try and make decisions and stuff. It's that way y'all can enjoy listening to something while you grind alongside me, and work through your stuff, whether it be programming. No, this is not a warm up. This is going to be a completed piece. Garage door. Let me explain to you, and then also any other viewers who might not be chiming in on the chat. Just kind of like the way we do things here. So this is the latter portion of the daily stream. So every week we have our daily streams from 1:30 to 3, where we do our warm-ups, grinding with Borgman. You can just come and grind with me through whatever you're working on. You just enjoy some music, maybe chime into the chat, have something playing in the background. Just know that there's somebody working alongside you too. And then the first half hour is warm-ups, second and third half hours, so the second portion, the final hour, is where we're going to be working on a full composition. And that's going to occur every day. And then every Thursday, we're going to have a long format stream where we work six hours or so on a different composition. And any of our patrons who support us on Patreon, or anybody who supports us in the Twitch chat monetarily, they get to chime in and help us make some decisions about what we're drawing, and what we might be doing, whether it be what warm-ups you want to see, whether it be what you want the composition to be, stylization, really all kinds of stuff. And then to those supporters at the end of the month, not immediately, but at the end of the month, they get a print of whichever one they help support. If you do the larger format one, then you get both, and at no extra cost. So you get 2 prints a month if you support us at the highest level, 1 print a month if you support us at another level. So it's kind of a way that I'm trying to give back to the people who are allowing this to exist through their financial support. So to all you out there, thank you, and to all you future patrons, thank you as well. So this is the daily one we're working on. We've not started or decided on the this Thursday is the first time we're doing the long format, since we've been setting stuff up. There is still time for you to donate and show your support, and have some input into what we could potentially be making on Thursday. No, hey man, that. I'm glad you're doing schoolwork. That's you're not a distraction. I'll let you do your schoolwork because that's what we're here for. So that way you can just have us in the background and know, hey man, we're all grinding through it. We're all working through that daily grind together, trying to make something better of ourselves. Oh goodness. Uh-oh, there's vocals. This could get demonetized now. Oh well. I am very much a novice with the streaming and video production, so I don't know all the ins and outs and the rules, and I'm just kind of winging it. So this is also like a bit of a journal of my journey through this stuff as well, which I hope other people might find helpful, or will definitely be helpful for me, since I can go back and review things and also like improve and grow. And just like in sports, you can watch the tapes. Just like in sports, watching them tapes.
Very good. You're watching the leader. Well, I asked Mr. Television. Do we have time for one more tune?
All right.
One more?
I think this is
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
See, and what's nice about working in this method is that you keep everything in a separate layer, so that way you can influence it. When you watch, especially if you're viewing it on YouTube, that video at the end that I'm gonna post, linking to their process, which they don't need my help. They already have their success. But it's definitely important to give props. But you'll see how they'll have several iterations of an arm that they will then. So actually, like, one of the things I should be doing is take, like, well, actually, no, that's fine. But once we get to the forearm, we're going to separate out the forearm from the rest of the forms. And we just start. One of the things with art in general is you got to start super broad and then sharpen it as you go. And that's just the rendering process. You work just like it's actually really helpful to watch the process of, like, say, the AI art, because you can witness it occurring in real time at a very rapid pace, since the AI can make decisions faster than we humans can. And you can watch as it like basically just throws down blobs of color, and then those blobs of color become slowly, like, distill into sharper and sharper images. Oh, cool. Well, hey, welcome to the club, man. An OSU tablet? Not familiar with that brand. Is it a brand, or is that like I'm currently drawing on a Huion. I never know how to pronounce it. Actually, my old mentor just gave me this phenomenal Wacom tablet that I love, but unfortunately for my desk, I have an armature bar for my tablet, so that way I can swing it around and move it freely, because it just makes it easier to, like, switch from, like, drawing to using the computer for other stuff. And this Wacom tablet is so massive that the armature bar just can't handle it. So I gotta pick up a new armature bar before I can start using it effectively. What do you do? See, I'm not used to this method, as you can see, because I just started drawing on the wrong layer. Always remember to draw on the correct layer. So what we're going to do is we're just going to erase all this shenanigans, and then we're going to hop back up to this one, and we'll actually just label these because that'll help us. Head, torso, and then maybe even change the colors a bit. I'm kind of, OSU is a game where you use a tablet. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should try shooters with my tablet. I've never thought of that before. Just using my tablet to because then I can literally just point. Ooh. garage door. You just gave me a Counter-Strike / Overwatch hack right there. Goodness gracious. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I'll report back, okay? Thank you. You just gave me video games for homework, garage door. I appreciate it. Yeah. This is a very new kind of approach to the process for me. I'm gonna make mistakes, and I'm gonna have to backtrack and redo things, and there's nothing wrong with that. So just remember that. Just remember that, folks. There's nothing wrong with admitting you messed up, and then fixing it. Much better than just trying to polish crap, which is what I'm doing with some other drawings. Which, hey, stick around for our streams, you know, from day to day, and then you'll see some of the polished turds that I'm talking about there, garage door. One of the other things we do on this stream is I take old, long forgotten concepts and sketches from years ago that I find on my computer, and we try and fix them. And it does not always go that well. And you can see the growth. You can see the growth and the process, and my development as an artist. Hopefully I've developed a bit as an artist. Right arm. Ooh, see that? Right arm. My fiance would be proud. I am notoriously bad with right and left, to the point where I just have to point when she's asking for directions in the car. It's quite comical. I have right and left dyslexia. Dyslexia is... I'm just joking about it. I'm making a joke about dyslexia, and I hope nobody is upset about that. See? Right there. Immediately. Just did not switch. See how much I just put in the right arm one? I'm right-handed. That I can tell you definitively. Because I've been right-handed for so long. So the concept behind this piece too is, are you sure? Yeah, clever guy. But the concept behind this piece is, so I came up with this, viewers yesterday will know, but I came up with this during breakfast yesterday, because I was just talking about how much I romanticize the concept of early creators before the internet. Like, you know, as much as I see, drawn on the wrong layer, right arm, there we go. As much as I right forearm, we gotta make this forearm. Sorry, excuse me. Cough coming. My apologies. Still recovering. But how much I romanticize the concept of like creators and artists pre-internet, you know, like back when like it was harder to find resources. It was harder creation and art and exposing yourself to the world was far more of a struggle, and you had to really have something to say to do it, you know. And it's a bit like, it's kind of romanticizing beatnik culture, which not a huge fan of beatnik culture, but still, you know, I definitely romanticize that. The concept of the starving artist to the detriment of so we actually have to erase a bunch of the head stuff. Drawing on that wrong layer. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah. Romanticizing beatnik culture. I actually used to what I was when I would so I used to manage or help. I used to be the production manager at a hemp dispensary before I moved back to my home where I belong. And one of my coworkers, she she was quite the feminist, but also a huge fan of Jack Kerouac, and I was like, those seem like conflicting concepts. Jack Kerouac being a famous womanizing beatnik, but she too was obsessed with the dirty beatnik culture, the starving artist traversing the country and experiencing all of what life has to offer, regardless of who they hurt. That's the part I don't agree with, is the regardless of who they hurt situation. It's a very selfish lifestyle. But the jazz kick is definitely from me being such a huge fan of Cowboy Bebop. The opening to Cowboy Bebop is literally. So the thing that got me into rap was the opening intro video to the Boondocks by Asheru. Look that up if you want. Just some of the most inspiring lyrics ever. Gotta love it. I'll do it right now for you. I can. I've got it memorized. Oh, absolutely! I love anime. I don't watch it nearly as much as. I don't watch it enough that some people might say that I'm not like a fan, but I am. I do enjoy anime quite a bit. I enjoy anime art style I enjoy anime animation immensely. The adjustment of time. One of the things that anime does, especially with action scenes, that I love so much is the manipulation of frame rate to inform like weight of movement. Like, one of my favorite moments in anime is when, like, say somebody gets kicked or something, and time seems to slow as the hit connects with the other person, and there's this dilation, and then suddenly it snaps. There's the snap, and the time goes back into regular speed, and the person flies off. That is one of the sexiest animation effects, and I don't mean that. I just mean that like in a general like oh my gosh, that's amazing animation, not in a sexualized way. But yes, sort of. Okay, bringing it back to Smash Brothers. Join in the chat, Smeth. Welcome back to the chat, Smeth. Thanks for joining us again, man. These guys are really keyed into Smash Brothers. Sorry, don't mean to assume anything. But these chatters are really keyed into Smash Brothers here, Garage Door. I wanted the typewriter. But yeah. Sakurai did a video on that exact effect. You can even see it in Kirby's Adventure for NES. Cool! I'll have to check that out. Thank you so much, EXO. Actually, there we go. So now we've got our two end videos for the YouTube. So you can check out, I'll look up and put that in our end frame. So we can look up that Sakurai video, and then we can also look up the drawing process of that artist. So there we go. We're just going to keep all of this separate. So, oh. There we go. There we go. Excuse me. I really can just draw in full screen. I should. There we go. Y'all don't need to see my taskbar. But yes, Cowboy Bebop got me into jazz, and circling back, I if you can't tell, I do have attention issues, but I just try and keep track of it all, and circle back to things. The one thing that's beneficial to having like attention deficit issues is that conversationally, I try and be very kind to other people, where if I have something I need to say, I'll say it, but then after I will, because I don't want to lose the thought, but then after I'll try and like point back to whoever was talking in the conversation and say, I'm so sorry, you were saying something, please finish. I just needed to get that thought out. And usually, and generally I'll try and only do that if it's like something constructive to, or you know, to whatever they're saying. It's just, I would say that's one of like the only benefits to having a mind that is always scattered. See, and one of the things that's nice about this, see, check this out. Now, since I screwed up the proportions here, because his hand should be much bigger based on the size of his face, now we can just boop. There we go. AI art is a positive or negative in the art world. We've actually talked pretty extensively about that on this channel so far, and more than happy to touch base with that again. AI art is just another tool. It's another tool to be utilized. It's a powerful tool. It has its limitations. I think someday those limitations will be removed or you know, patched or fixed. But it's a powerful tool that you should just learn to use and utilize properly. And that's actually something I intend on doing myself. Because one of the things that it is going to fundamentally change is like the only thing I should say, the only thing that I think it will like really affect, and again, the only reason we're even talking about it is because of that Colorado art competition. Yeah, it definitely a great question, Garage Door. Thank you, Smeth. Thank you for acknowledging that. It is a very powerful tool, very effective tool. But the only reason we're talking about it is because of that Colorado art competition where somebody won it with an AI, a piece derived from AI. Well, actually not derived from AI. AI created it. They used the input. But the argument I make is that, especially having tested and played with it pretty, not extensively, but you know, I've spent a few hours just developing prompts and trying to communicate more effectively with the AI. The one that I was using was Midjourney. There's several out there. I think there's like 5 really well-known ones right now. The only ones I can think of off the top of my head are like DALL-E, Midjourney, and then there's one other one where you can actually supply an image framework for the AI to utilize. That one I would love to get my hands on, but I think there's a bit of a paywall for it. So, hey, the more viewers and the more exposure, the more viewers, the more financial support we get, the more I'm going to get to experiment with that kind of stuff for you guys. But that being said, the prompt is still, or what the AI produces is still dependent upon the artist and what they input to the computer. So you're going to need to know how to effectively communicate what you want with the AI, and also you're going to need to know how to how to conceptualize what you are mentally visualizing and put that into words. So the argument I was saying was that this gives writers a really good opportunity to become super amazing artists, utilizing AI as a tool, as long as they can translate their writing into the language that will effectively create the image. Because the prompts are very, like, you can get some wild deviations depending on how you word your prompt. And that being said, the only instance where AI art is going to perhaps be detrimental to the art community is within the competition realm. So anybody participating in art competitions, competing against other artists for some kind of prize, that's really the only place in my mind where I can see it being detrimental to the art community. Otherwise, it's another tool just like Photoshop. When Photoshop came out, it was huge, and not everybody had it. And I mean, my uncle is a graphic designer, and he remembers the transition from creating graphic design elements, you having to draw things, cut things out of things, like, print images and then slice them up on a cutting mat, and then pasting them together. And graphic designers' studios smelled like glue. And now graphic designers' studios are just generally an Apple computer with Photoshop. So it's that. Sorry, I had my eyes closed while I was trying to formulate these thoughts, so that way I could stay on topic. So I wasn't reading the chat. Well, it's one of my tools for overcoming my attention issues. Having my eyes closed so I can visualize what I'm trying to say. But yes, I think AI is a great and powerful new tool that we need to learn how to utilize properly, and that the only area where it's going to be an issue is in the competition space. And in that space, it's just going to have to be up to the people who organize those things to decide whether or not AI should or should not be allowed within that competition itself. Otherwise, it's just a souped up version of Photoshop that removes... I mean, I wouldn't have to put all these brushstrokes in, it's just a massive time saver, otherwise. And it still requires skill because you need to know how to communicate with it. So yeah. No. Okay. So let me just catch up with the chat real quick. You haven't heard, so Garage Door had not heard about the Colorado thing. Yes, but that's where it stemmed from. That it was a Colorado art competition where the first prize winner was an AI generated piece of art. And that sparked this entire conversation months ago that has been going on the internet since then. Smeth, I can see a big target for touch-up artists taking a favorite of AI-generated images and polishing them. Yeah, no, 100%. In fact, that's one of the things that I want to start experimenting with is generating elements independent of each other within an AI program, and then importing those into a composition that I develop myself. That's something that I want to play with and experiment with in the future, and perhaps do streams of and videos of to show that process and show that utilization and showcase like what the different prompts do. So You know, that's something I would love to do in the future. And Garage Door, isn't the entire art community a competition in a way? That is a... I used to think that way. I do not fault you at all, Garage Door, for thinking that way, because I used to think that way myself, and I had to get over that. It's like very similar to like going to the gym. You're going to hate going to the gym, and you're going to hate working out if you are going to the gym and comparing yourself to all the other people there. You're going to hate art, and you're going to hate making art if you are just comparing yourself to all the other artists and what they're producing. You know, if I'm comparing myself to Ross Tran or Bobby Chu, like, or Stan Prokopenko, like all of these like super established, renowned artists who have developed like online schools and programs, and like, if I was comparing myself to them all the time, like I'd be miserable. And sometimes, you always will compare yourself to them, but you can't view art as a competition because there's so many niches. There's so many niches. I can promise you that I will never draw My Little Pony fan art, but there is a market for My Little Pony fan art. So like, that's what I mean. Like it's only a competition if you make it a competition. And you're only competing with people who are not competing with you. Yeah. So it's very much, if you view art as a competition, then you're gonna hate it. And anybody who does view art as a competition, they tend to be. They tend to not be friendly to the community. And I've been inspired, I'm inspired by some artists who do view art as a competition, and their art is really good, and I'm inspired by their art, but I'm not inspired by their behavior. So that's another thing that, you have to make those distinctions. Oh, we're erasing stuff. Didn't mean to be doing that. But anyway. Excuse me. My apologies. Just that. Still getting over it. Well, hey, Garage Door, thank you so much for joining us, man. Hope we helped you out with your grind. Thank you for helping me out with mine. And, hey, spread the love out there, okay? Because the only thing that we can do is make the world a better place. So, appreciate you joining us, man. And good luck with your art journey. Exo says, I used to go to the gym, but some fat guy kept following me around and copying my workouts on the other side of the room. Clever. For those of you not aware, gyms have a lot of mirrors. No better way to ruin a joke than explain somebody else's. All right. Here we go, getting into it. One of the other things is I'm not toning this very well, so I need to be a little more mid-tony with a lot of this. I'm using way too much white highlight. That's one of the issues. You gotta be sparing with your white. Like the whites of your eyes, never white. See, I don't like that nose. We're gonna... Excuse me. I am really sorry about you all hearing that fluid in there. Gonna mute myself. There we go. Sorry about that. Some ASMR, a little water. All right, and then back to it. I'm actually very excited for Thursday for our first long format stream because I'm noticing the time and I'm like, ugh, I don't want this to end, but gotta schedule, gotta keep the other things going too. So that's one of the things that a lot of artists who are more successful than me talk about with the struggle of being an artist who's like, you know, has renown and has a following and a fan base, is that they don't get to draw and paint as much as they used to. Like generally only a few hours, you know, a couple hours a day, if that. So that's one sad thing, but definitely wouldn't mind being able to do this without worrying. So we'll see. Plus, I have a new philosophy, or well, not a new philosophy, but oof. And the composition, you know, is going to change. One of the things that, you know, going to reiterate from earlier podcasts is the concept of not being precious, especially early on. Oh, we lost. But yeah, not being precious, especially early on. I don't care about this at all yet. Any element of it could go at any time. Create that little philtrum divide right there. Goes right into that. I'm actually going to use this darker tone for the back half. Nostril. Ooh. Can't wait for this to not be a thing anymore. Clearing out having the stuffed up sinuses that apparently make me sound like Mark Zuckerberg. Although if I sound like Mark Zuckerberg, I might be able to get away with it if you think. No, I definitely don't want to be associated with that free-falling ship known as Meta. How much money have they poured into it so far? How many billions? And it is just, woo, nobody likes it. Oh, this is like just the most relaxing kind of sculpting right here.
Thank you very much. Charlie, thank you. That's a thing called Senator Sam. I don't know why, but that's what it's called. It featured Jimmy Bruno on the guitar, and Al Kaplan, Keith O'Quinn, and John Lays on, what are those things? Trombones, right. And whatever these two guys...
So this, what we are currently listening to is Buddy Rich Dorchester Hotel from 1973.
We want to feature...
If y'all have any questions about that.
Nobody just gave me a chance to get up and straighten my shorts out, actually.
Some good stuff there.
Think about that.
Think about that, though. I've only been doing this a couple of years already like this. Don't you think finding out might be worth it? Sorry, now I'm singing a different song that would definitely get me, well, get the audio cut for sure. Hopefully this one doesn't cut the audio. Doing a little experiment with that, I guess.
Not by their folks, but by the Beatles. It's called Something. As soon as they get the title for it, we'll finish it and play it. Charlie Davis. And his, what is that? That's a trumpet, right?
Yeah, we're just, still figuring out like what I can get away with for helping y'all out and helping me out and having something to listen to. I would love to be able to buy some licensing rights for some music or some recording rights or whatever, however it works for some music at some point. So we'll see how that goes, and then I can maybe even take requests from our paid viewership. That's right. Sorry about the paywalls, people, but hey, I'm an independent. I gotta make money if I want to keep doing this. Excuse me, I'm so sorry about that. He's definitely got that hunch a bunch. But also, EXO, highly suggest, still getting to the gym, just so that way your body's still working when we get old, even if there's some fat guy chasing you around it, just, at least just stretch every day. Aaron? Ugh. Living who's Mr. House? His plan, everybody, is to live in a tube like Mr. House. I don't know who Mr. House is, but all right. Ah! We had been drawing in the wrong layer, so now we're just cutting and merging because I like the tone. So I want to, there we go, lighten it up a little bit. My apologies. Mr. House, Fallout New Vegas. Oh, Mr. House is from Fallout New Vegas. Honestly, have never played Fallout New Vegas. However, I have watched videos, countless videos that everybody agrees that it's the best Fallout. And although the graphics don't age the best, it still is the best one. And Smef, you say, I used to go to the gym, then I realized I could work out, and everything else right from home. Yes, I agree with you. However, you can do it all from home. I also argue about how effective it is to have different zones for different activities. Because of just how different zones for different activities, because of it's just you are prepared to do the thing when you're in the place. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like I work out better at the gym than I do at home because I am at the gym, and the only thing that I am at the gym to do is to work out. It's kind of similar to the concept of like a third space, which, by the way, really cool concept that we need to bring back. Something that has gone away in our world. But the concept of the third space is that you have, you have your home space, you have your workspace, and then you have your third space where you go to interact with the community and share ideas, and gain information outside of the home space and the workspace. And that used to be public houses, also known as pubs. If you didn't know, that's what pub stands for, public house. And that's where people would congregate and share ideas and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So Smef says a gym can be more targeted for sure. I do get a great exercise now that I have got more solid routines. But you have to be intentional about it. And also, oh boy, let me tell you about the library. You want to turn libraries into the third space. See, the one issue with that, Smef, is that libraries have a stigma about noise. And the whole point of the third space is to talk and share ideas. And anytime anybody thinks of a library, they think of a librarian shushing them. So I just, that's the one issue there, bud. But yeah, for sure, you can definitely do all of those things at home. But you got to establish those solid routines and stuff. Hey, that's why we started grinding with Borgman, so that way I could help myself, since I work from home and play from home and do everything from home except work out. I had to help myself establish solid routines, and that's hence the development of grinding with Borgman. And I've been very upfront about that. His chin, I don't like it being that pronounced. Okay. Okay, so everybody, here's a quick PSA for using libraries as a third space. According to Smef, they used to have a stigma about noise. Get hip, yo. Libraries are past that. Designated noisy spaces, event rooms, programs galore. I'm guessing Smith is a librarian. But anyways, on that note, go visit go find a third space, share your ideas with the world, because it is now the 3 o'clock hour, and hey, I gotta stick to the schedule, man, because it's important to do. But thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for grinding with us. Hope you enjoyed the jazz. I was loving it. Definitely felt it with the artwork we're developing here. Again, like I said, so for the YouTube, we're gonna go ahead and link a couple videos at the end, and I'm gonna be doing some more research into this particular method of drawing and painting, to really produce the best piece that I can for you all, and also to capture in the most aesthetically pleasing way, the romanticizing I have of the 1940s, 1950s creative. But anyways, thank you all so much for joining us. Please check us out, YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, our own website, borgmandesigns.com. You can buy prints there. Any way you can support us, it helps keep this going. And the more we grow, the more I can do for you. I mean, heck, I would love to have all the tools that like Jaza on YouTube has, and just get to experiment all day for you fine folks. So hey, this could be the building block. You all could be the start of that journey. So thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, Borgman Designs, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon, our own website, Facebook, literally any social media that I could think of, you can find Borgman Designs there. And we're still working on stuff. The website's a little bare bones. There's not that much to offer yet on there, but definitely some fun prints. Especially if you're into fantasy and fighting. So thank you all so much. Spread that love, and enjoy the grind. All right. Peace out. Love y'all. Have a great one.